Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Y'all all right? I'm good. Look at here. Look, I got a video I want y'all to watch with me. Hold on. Here we go.
They said we got to make sure we don't get another Dr. King.
Right.
They said, how did Dr. King manage to pull this off without us financing it?
Right.
They said independent black businesses financed the civil rights movement. White man said, yeah. They said, yes. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to go into the ghetto and we're going to crush the independent black businesses. How you going to do that? Two things. Number one, we're going to go into their high schools. We're going to go into Chattanooga. We're going to go to Memphis. We're going to go to Nashville. We're going to go to Knoxville. Right. And guess what we're going to do? We're going to go into every black high school and take out all the building trades. We're going to make sure they cannot be taught how to use their hands to feed their family ever again. They took out auto shop. They took out the electric program. They took out plumbing. They took out welding. They took out HVAC. This is what they did. This is what they did. This is the beginning of the war between the black woman and the black man. They made the black man economically irrelevant to the black woman's life. They said, this is how we're going to kill black power. We're going to set the family against each other. If we can set the black woman against the black man, he won't have time to fight us because he got to fight his own woman. So they went into the high schools and took out all the building trades. Think about it. Before 1980, the black community was never about going to college to take care of our family because we wasn't allowed in the colleges.
Right.
So they would change this. So while they taking away our economics by making sure our boys ain't learning the skills that pay the bills, making sure our boys no longer learn the skills that pay the bills, they started this college education propaganda. Go to college. America is integrated now. You can go to Harvard and Stanford and Yale, and we sent our kids $100,000 loans. Go. Failing to realize that even though they got that degree, who gonna give them a job?
Right.
It was a trap.
Right.
It was a trap.
Right.
So then in 1970, they economically decimated us. And then they took all the factories out the black community. You go to most northern and midwestern cities, Detroit, Chicago, Philadelphia, Baltimore, you see old factories. That's where we used to work. Good jobs, made more then than we make now with college degrees. They got rid of all of them. That was the 1970s, but they wasn't done. 1980s, CIA dropped off the crack cocaine. Boom! So now the black man can no longer earn with his hands. He got to make a decision with this crack. This is a booming business. You can smoke it to deal with the pain of not being able to provide for your family, or you can try to sell it and provide for your family. Either way,
you're tearing us up,
and you're going to jail, which takes us to 1990, Bill Clinton crime bill, 1994. Boom! Look at this. Every decade since they killed King, they didn't hit us. So the 70s, economic castration. 80s, the crack. 1990, Bill Clinton crime bill under a Democratic president that black people consider to be one of their best.
Our boy.
You got Bill Clinton locked up more black men than any Republican president since Reconstruction. Mandatory 3 strikes and you out. Mandatory federal minimum wages for non-violent drug-related offenses. Kicked millions of black women off welfare in the welfare to work program. And then he did something else under the table we weren't even watching. He criminalized child support. That was Clinton. Clinton did that. That happened under Bill Clinton. Before Bill Clinton, you didn't go to jail if you didn't have a job to pay your child support. He snuck that in. And the reason he was able to snuck it in is because I don't think they put the language directly in the crime bill. So the black community didn't fight it because they didn't know that that was part of the whole mix. He criminalized child support. So any black man with a child technically is on parole any damn way.
Now that's deep.
10 more years, we come to the year 2000, election of George W. Bush for president. He comes in with the FBI faith-based initiative, where he finds a loophole in federal law that allows him to fund black church. If you want to know why you ain't seen the black church involved in any major struggle affecting black folks, have you noticed that you don't see the black church dealing with police genocide? You don't see the black church dealing with miseducation? You don't see the black church dealing with unemployment? You don't see the black church dealing with mass incarceration? Can you name one thing that the black church is at the forefront of changing for black folks? You can't. Why? Because of Y2K, the new millennium came with a new takeover of the black church. The federal government now owns the black church. FBI faith-based initiative. Your pastor is the new snitch.
Now that's deep. Now that's what year was this?
2000.
Okay.
Which is also the same year that the federal government decided that they were going to take back all major cities from blacks and gentrify them back in the hands of whites. That was Y2K. You're seeing it now, but it was decided 20 years ago. That was Y2K. They unemployed us. They drug addicted us. They mass incarcerated us. They neutralized the black church, and they took back the ghettos. They said we got to make sure we don't get another Dr. King.
What y'all think? It's always been a conspiracy against us from day one, ain't it? They try to do anything they can to keep us down and from figuring out who we truly are. All praises to the Most High for the revelation of the truth. Bye, y'all.
All praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS. Shalom to the hopefully elect. This video is going to be entitled Response. What happened to the black community? Now, at the end of the day, there's no such thing as black people. Okay, there's people with melanin, and then there's people without. All the earth has melanin, okay? But the people that were brought over here that's described as black or Negroes, they are 3 of the tribes of Israel, okay? The southern kingdom, which really you have your real Jews. The other 10 tribes, they're the Israelites. All together are the Hebrew Israelites, but more exclusively, the so-called black Americans or so-called Negroes are Israelites. Anyway, there was a video that was put up by this young woman here who sometimes like get on the girl because, you know, you women shouldn't even be saying that much. But in this video, she didn't say a whole lot. She just kind of gave a little intro. And she played a video of Umar Johnson from a long time ago. And he's going into all these conspiracies. Now, Umar Johnson is not a believer, okay? He's not a practicing Hebrew Israelite. He knows he's an Israelite, but he's not a believer, okay? So he's still of the uncircumcision, but he made a lot of good points. And this just goes to show you that the scriptures are correct in what they're saying. The reason why you call it the black community, but really in reality, it's the Israelites, okay? A portion of the Israelite family, which really you can also include the Latinos and Native Americans. They're under that same, some of those same conspiracies. Why? Because we're the children of Israel. But when you listen to this video, you know, as I did, it stirred me a little bit in the spirit, and I just got to, you know, thinking of some scriptures that we could bring out. And this is just proof, okay? This is just more proof. When you look at the scriptures and you look at life in general, you see that we're the Israelites, because the scriptures tell us that nothing this bad would happen to any people. And the schemes that we've been fighting against, the Lord put us under these devils and used them as his whipping stick. Let's get a few things right here. First, let's get Deuteronomy 28:15. Now, we're under the curses. That's the reason why your community is fucked up. And for those that watch this, I was just listening to Elder Apostle Gabar, a new video he put up, and he was talking about we get new people every day to our platform, and that's correct. So if you're of the mindset of, yeah, what's wrong with our community? Why are we always going through this? Why is this happening? Well, the reason why it's happening is because the Most High is the one that's making it happen, or made it happen. And these are the consequences of disobedience, known in the Bible as the curses. This is Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So there's a list of curses, and they came upon us in their perfection. Not every single Israelite is not under every single curse, but us as a family, these things came upon us. And just to give you a few, just to jump around a little bit, I also want to hit you here with Deuteronomy 28:45. It says, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. So see, you're supposed to be able to see these things playing out, and you're going to complain about them. You're going to whine, you're going to bitch and moan and say all of this. But when you understand and you see these things, you're supposed to know, okay, we're the Israelites. Because something this bad is not happen to any people, you know. And it's a multitude of things. It's the laws that you know, first it was the slavery being brought over here. All those things are the curses. The yokes of iron, the slave ships, the way you are perceived and viewed, the names put upon you, your financial state, all of that. Your health, right? The different plagues that hit us, all of that. All these things were done by the Heavenly Father as a punishment, okay? As a punishment, even if, and I said financially. Let's go real quick to Baruch. And you know, before we read that, let's get also Daniel. This is Daniel 9 and verse 11. It says, yeah, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us. See? Where's it found? In the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of the Most High, And here's the why. Because we have sinned against him. So the Lord put us under all of these decrees, these consequences for disobedience, which really are supernatural hindrances. Another definition of a curse, a supernatural hindrance. Why? Because, well, it told you why. Because we transgressed the law. It says, and he hath confirmed his words, which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. Listen, for under the whole heaven hath not been done as hath been done upon Jerusalem. And Jerusalem is a people, before it's a place. I saw a few comments where guys say that Jerusalem is not a place, it's a people. No, it is a place. But it's a people first, and they make the place. It's a people before it's a place. Currently, right now, you got the city or the place on the earth known as Jerusalem, but true Jerusalem is not there. You have imposters there, while true Jerusalem is scattered in the earth. Hope you can get it. Verse 13, as it is written in the law of Moses, all this evil has come upon us. Right. Nothing worse than this has happened to any people than happened to the Israelites. As it is written in the law of Moses, all this evil has come upon us. Yet made we not our prayer before the Lord our power, that we might turn from our iniquities and understand thy truth. You got to understand the truth. And if you understand the truth, see, Umar Johnson doesn't understand the truth. He going on about these conspiracies because he thinks that one day he's going to be able to overcome them some kind of way. Like you get reparations. If you get, reparations is never going to solve the issue. You're going to still have the devil there that's been doing all of this. But if you follow the truth, you understand that one day, right, the oppressor is going to be the oppressed. We're going to be on top. See, there's a certain amount of time we were supposed to endure what we're enduring, and we're at the end of it now. And the end of it starts with what? Or the end of it begins with what? The end of it begins with the great awakening of the Israelites, us waking up, to who we are. It goes on in verse 14. Therefore hath the Lord watched upon the evil and brought it upon us. For the Lord our God is righteous in all his works which he doeth, for we obeyed not his voice. See? So we didn't obey the voice of the Lord, so therefore he jacked us up. And we're going to be jacked up until the very end. These curses are going to be on us until the Lord comes back. This is Revelation 22. And verse 1, it says, he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of the Most High and of the Lamb. In the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits, and yielded her fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. And there shall be no more curse, but the throne of the Most High and of the Lamb shall be in it, and his servants shall serve him. You see? So the curse is going to be on us until the very end. If Umar Johnson understood that, there's nothing wrong with still speaking out against it. Even us at camp, when we go to camp, we talk about all the stuff that these devils have done. But we know that the Most High, for a greater purpose, allowed these things to be done. He even tells us in the scriptures, because of your iniquities, I did these things unto you. All right, so let's just keep on going here. We got a few more to bring out. Let's go to Baruch now. When you go to Baruch chapter 3 and verse 8, and I actually started verse 5. It says, I'm going to start at verse 4. It says, O Lord Almighty, thou God of Israel, hear now the prayers of the dead Israelites and of their children which have sinned before thee, and not hearken unto the voice of thee their God. For the which cause these plagues cleave unto us. That's right. You didn't listen to the Lord. These plagues continue, and they're going to stay on us. The Christians think they can come and tell you, well, see, the curses, they fulfilled. So that means, and then you had one guy saying, so that means the curses are fulfilled. You fucking right, you monkey. You Edomite monkey. Yeah, the curse is going to stay on us forever. And all you Israelites who think you're going to get out of the curses, or you came up with a doctrine a fefew years ago. See, we coming out of the curses. You ain't fucking coming out of no curses. You going to be in the curses until the Lord comes back. Now the curses are not, well, I can't even say that. It's just that the Lord has given us, he gave us our heritage back, and we're understanding better, and we can maneuver around the curses. And the Lord gives us the leeway, and he blesses us, with certain things. As far as your health, you can eat better and work out and do this and do that. You're right. But you still got a plague on your finances. There's certain stuff that's still happening to us. If you're not careful, the curses will take you out. But see, the Lord has given us grace. But we still under them things. They tight. It goes on. Verse 5 says, remember not the iniquities of our forefathers, but think upon thy power and thy name now at this time. For thou art the Lord our God, and thee, O Lord, will we praise. And for this cause thou hast put thy fear in our hearts, to the intent that we should call upon thy name and praise thee in our captivity. Right. We're going to get the name back in captivity. Any Israelite telling you we don't know the name, or you don't have to call on the name, or you can just say the names you've been saying, you're a fucking fool. Really, you're a demon. For we have called to mind all the iniquities of our forefathers that sinned before thee. We remember why the Lord did this to us, what we was doing wrong. We can even go back into history. Just read the Bible. Just reading our history right there. Verse 8 says, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments. They talked about child support, right? That Clinton was the one that criminalized child support. That, you know, if a black man, he said black man, but it didn't just affect us, it affected other men as well. See, his focus is on blackness. But Israelites are all shades, which this dude don't, you know, he don't preach that. At this time, he didn't even have a beard back then. But why you think Umar Johnson started growing a beard? You know why? Because he was rubbing elbows with the Israelites. He heard the gospel, so now you will never catch him again with a naked face like he was back then. But in my opinion, Umar Johnson, he probably worked for the government, man. That dude is just an insider, okay? He just an insider, that's all. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So yeah, that whole thing with the child support being criminalized, yeah, Clinton did do that. But that's, hey, it's of the Lord. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments. And that's all kind of payments, bills, all kind of stuff hit us. According to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our God. You see that? A little more. Hear, Israel, the commandments of life. Give ear to understand wisdom. How happy is it, Israel, that thou art in thine enemy's land, that thou art waxing old in a strange country, that thou art defiled with the dead, that thou art counted with them that go down into the grave. Right, you're likened unto dead bodies because you don't have the knowledge. You don't have the wisdom. You don't have the understanding. Now, you may say, well, why did the Lord do this? Well, he did it for a purpose. Doggone. I think it's at Psalm 17. The Lord did this. He put us under these men. Right? He used the wicked to punish us. Even further than that. We already got the curses on us. He had this devil bring us over here. But we being nourished up back into our rightful place. But still, that devil is here to punish you. This is Psalm 17:13. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Who's the wicked? So-called white man, Esau, Edom is the wicked of the earth. It says, from men which have thy hand, O Lord. From men which are thy hand, O Lord. From men of the world. Particular men is Esau, the so-called white man. The Most High called him his sword. From men of the world which have their portion in this life, in whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure, they are full of children and leave the rest of their substance to their babes. You see that? So this man is set up over you for the purpose of bringing forth the Lord's decrees to punish you. This is Romans 13. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of the Most High. The powers that be are ordained of the Most High. The Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, was the one to put this wicked over you, right? And he came down on you very hard, but that's because the Lord is punishing you. But if you turn back to the Lord, you see, you're gonna be able to get out of the punishment before, right when this devil is destroyed. The Lord gonna get rid of him in time. Your focus should be serving the Lord, not worrying about, trying to get back at this devil or figure out a plan how to make the black community better, because it ain't gonna never fucking get better. You wasn't put here, and if you fighting the same battle with IUIC. Now these dumb niggas want to go buy land. They extorting the people, getting money out of them as a scam so they can go get this plot of land they Their blood, they so thirsty over all of a sudden they make a better future. You ain't gonna have no fucking better future. Babylon the Great was not set up for you to have a better future. It's a prison camp until the Lord busts us out of this bitch and destroys the prison camp. Other than that, you through. Verse 2, whosoever therefore resisted the power, resisted the ordinance of the Most High, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same. For he is the minister of the Most High to thee for good. Now, when it says minister right here, this means he's a servant. The Most High is using so-called white man Esau, the wicked, as a servant, but in wickedness though. He's doing evil against us, even though it says for good. Because in this case, it means what? Like the law enforcement authorities. You might have a situation where you need to call on this devil for your good. For he is the minister of thee, of the Most High to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid. He's like security over us. For he beareth not the sword in vain. For he is the minister of the Most High, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil. So we have to abide by, and notice that when you keep the commands of the Lord, you generally are on the right side of Esau's law. That's something you have to look at. You have to look into and understand that. If you follow the Most High's commandments, you won't even really be a threat to these damn devils. Whenever we out there preaching, we the most law-abiding citizens, even among the people. The people walk around smoking weed, doing a little crazy shit, dressing half naked. The women, they breaking laws when they doing that. We ain't breaking no law. We just preaching the word, although we preaching against them. You see? Wherefore you must needs be subject, not only for wrath, but also for conscience sake. So we have to do what the Lord told us to do. So while we in this captivity, we are under the wicked, the devil, but the Lord got us in a prison. We're in a prison called Babylon the Great. Which really the whole earth is a prison to us. And the security guard, the guards that have been put over us are the Edomites. You know, and the other nations also serve as that as well. But the main prison guard or the warden of the prison is Esau. But if you do what the Lord told you to do, you can overcome the warden. You can get released from prison when the Savior comes back, the deliverer, and the warden gonna get his ass whooped. The warden gonna get first destroyed. His prison camp gonna be destroyed, and he going into prison. If you can understand that. So that's it. That's what happened to the black community. The Lord fucked it up. All right. So that's the answer to it. We'll see you soon with another lesson, Lord willing. All praise to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Shalom.